What do Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, and Clinton Portis have in common? They're the only three running backs in NFL history to average over 4.5 yards per carry on 2,000-plus attempts. While Sanders and Brown are enshrined as legends, Portis's brilliance often goes unremembered. Why? From record-setting seasons in Denver to carrying Washington's offense through injuries and adversity, his greatness was buried in plain sight. What led to such elite production? And how did he keep delivering even as the challenges piled up? Let's uncover the story behind the numbers and why Clinton Portis was better than you remember. Long before Clinton Portis was breaking through NFL defensive lines, he was just a kid with extraordinary speed in Laurel, Mississippi. The small southern town might not have been on the radar of football scouts, but it was there that Portis first showed glimpses of the athletic gifts that would eventually make him a household name. His natural abilities were evident even in his earliest days, though few could have predicted the impact he would make on professional football. From the dusty fields of Laurel to the bright lights of Gainesville High School in Florida, Portis's raw talent began to shine beyond local fields. His football talent merged with his track excellence, demonstrating an athlete with exceptional speed. His blazing 10.6-second time in the 100 meters was the kind of speed that changes the dynamics of a football game entirely. As part of the state record-setting 4x100-meter relay team, Portis was building the foundation of speed that would define his professional career. His senior season in 1998 transformed him from local talent to legitimate prospect. Every yard and touchdown was a stepping stone to his destiny. 2,036 rushing yards and 26 touchdowns, setting a school record and showcasing both his explosive ability and nose for the end zone. What made Portis special was his remarkable versatility, also playing defensive back with 79 tackles and a pair of interceptions. This two-way performance highlighted an athlete with a complete understanding of the game. Yet despite these impressive achievements, Portis faced a challenge that would have derailed many careers before they began. Major college football programs looked at his size and saw limitations rather than potential. The "too small" label followed him through the recruitment process, with many schools viewing him primarily as a defensive back rather than the explosive running back he would become. These doubts would later fuel his determination to prove skeptics wrong at every level. The recruiting process took another hit when a fight led South Carolina to withdraw their scholarship offer. With his choices dwindling, the University of Miami emerged as the perfect landing spot, a program with a rich history of developing running backs under head coach Butch Davis. Don Solinger, Miami's running backs coach, saw what others had missed: a player with the potential to become something special in the Hurricanes' backfield. The decision to attend Miami proved pivotal. While most freshmen watched from the sidelines, Portis became only the second true freshman since 1975 to start at running back for the Hurricanes. His impact was immediate and historic, setting a school freshman record with 5 100-yard performances, leading the team with 838 yards and 8 touchdowns while averaging an impressive 5.9 yards per carry. Portis showed he belonged among college football's elite backs. What made Portis truly special at Miami was his complete skill set. His receiving abilities added another dimension to his game, catching 4 passes for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns during his freshman campaign. This dual-threat capability foreshadowed the complete backfield weapon he would become professionally, someone who could hurt defenses in multiple ways. As NFL scouts monitored his progress at Miami, questions about his size persisted. Could a running back with his frame withstand the punishment of a 16-game NFL season? What many failed to recognize was how Portis's unique background had prepared him for success. His foundation as both a track star and football phenom created the perfect combination: explosive speed matched with football instincts and toughness. Portis's college career demonstrated that elite speed didn't come at the expense of between-the-tackles running ability. His track background gave him acceleration that couldn't be taught, while his football IQ allowed him to process holes and cut back lanes with remarkable vision. That rare combination didn't just translate to an efficient start, it produced the greatest opening chapter by a running back the NFL had ever witnessed. When the Denver Broncos selected Clinton Portis with the 51st overall pick in the 2002 draft, they were making what many considered a calculated risk on an undersized back. What they couldn't have anticipated was how perfectly their offensive philosophy would mesh with Portis's natural talents. the marriage between player and system would prove historically productive. Mike Shanahan's zone blocking scheme represented the perfect canvas for Portis to display his artistic running style. This system, revered throughout the league for turning overlooked backs into stars, emphasized a one-cut approach where runners read blocks, decisively cut, and exploded through lanes, essentially handing a player with Portis's vision and acceleration the keys to a perfectly engineered race car. The challenge facing Portis seemed insurmountable at first glance. Standing 5 feet 11 inches and weighing just 218 pounds, he entered a league dominated by bruising backs with significantly more mass. Yet Shanahan showed immediate confidence in the rookie, thrusting him into the role of offensive cornerstone. This vote of confidence revealed something scouts had missed. Portis possessed a rare combination of elusiveness and surprising power that belied his frame. His rookie campaign silenced any doubters. Portis rampaged through NFL defenses for 1,508 rushing yards while maintaining an eye-popping 5.5 yards per carry, elite statistics for any running back in league history. Portis demonstrated remarkable versatility by adding 15th, 2002, stands as a watershed moment in Portis's meteoric rise. In a critical matchup against division rival Kansas City, the rookie etched his name in NFL record books by becoming the youngest player ever to score 4 touchdowns in a single game. At just 21 years and 105 days old, Portis's performance in Denver's 31-24 victory announced his arrival as a genuine superstar, a moment that transformed him from promising prospect to league phenomenon. Incredibly, Portis managed to exceed his remarkable first season in year 2, cementing his dual-threat capabilities. Another game against the Chiefs exemplified Portis's Denver tenure was his unprecedented efficiency. His 5.5 yards per carry average across his first 2 seasons established an NFL record for a running back's first 2 years, a mark that remains unbroken to this day. This historic achievement placed Portis in conversation with the greatest runners the game had ever seen, transforming how teams evaluated running back potential. Though his production had reached legendary proportions, the Broncos faced a monumental decision that would reshape 2 franchises. Denver's front office, led by Shanahan and owner Pat Bowlen, had to choose between paying their young superstar or leveraging his peak value via trade. The organization had developed a reputation for finding running back talent in later rounds, leading many to question whether they would commit significant resources to retain even a back as special as Portis. The answer came in the form of one of the most stunning trades in modern NFL history. Denver shipped Portis to Washington in exchange for cornerback Champ Bailey and a second-round draft pick, a rare star-for-star swap that immediately transformed both teams. Washington confirmed Portis's market value by signing him to an 8-year, $50.5 million contract, an enormous sum that reflected both his production and potential. The ink was barely dry on Portis's record-setting contract when football reality delivered its first brutal lesson. The running back who dominated in Denver's system was about to face his greatest professional challenge. Going from the Broncos' zone blocking scheme to Washington's power running system wasn't like learning new plays. It was essentially learning an entirely new position. It was like asking a virtuoso violinist to suddenly play the drums. The musical talent remains, but the rhythm, technique, and entire approach must be completely rewired. In Denver, Portis had thrived in Mike Shanahan's zone system, where his Washington's power scheme under Joe Gibbs couldn't have been more different. Now, Portis needed patience, vision, and the strength to run between the tackles, often creating his own holes instead of simply finding them. The 2004 season revealed how dramatic this transition would be. Portis's yards per could muster, a far cry from the scoring machine who had terrorized opposing defenses just months earlier. Sports radio callers in Washington began questioning whether the team had made a catastrophic mistake, trading away a shutdown cornerback and a valuable draft pick for a system-dependent runner. Washington fans grew increasingly restless. The expectation had been for an instant offensive centerpiece, but instead they watched a runner who seemed to hesitate at the line of scrimmage, searching for daylight that rarely appeared. Critics labeled the blockbuster trade a bust, with some suggesting Portis had been nothing more than a product of Denver's system all along. What those critics couldn't see was the transformation happening behind closed doors. Recognizing the physical demands of his new role, Portis committed to a complete physical metamorphosis. He added 20 pounds of muscle to his frame, bulk he would need to survive the constant pounding between the tackles. "Some nights I'd go home frustrated, questioning everything I knew about running the ball," Portis later revealed. "In Denver's zone blocking scheme, I was making one cut and go. In Washington's power running system, I had to be patient, find the hole, and make multiple reads. I had to become a different runner mentally before I could succeed physically." By 2005, the transformation was complete. Portis broke the Washington franchise record with 1,516 rushing yards, silencing critics who had questioned his ability to thrive in Gibbs' system. He had become a different type of runner, equally comfortable grinding between the tackles or bouncing outside. Perhaps most impressive was his evolution as a pass blocker, an aspect rarely making highlight reels but earning him respect from coaches and teammates. Portis became one of the most complete backs in football, capable of staying on the field for all 3 downs. During 2006 training camp, despite carrying the additional 20 pounds of muscle, he clocked a blistering 4.26-second 40-yard dash, proof that his newfound power hadn't come at the expense of his game-breaking speed. What Clinton Portis accomplished represents one of the most remarkable adaptations in modern NFL history. As Washington fans would soon discover, his greatest contributions to the franchise were still ahead, forged in the crucible of this professional reinvention that transformed him from a system-dependent star into one of the most complete running backs of his generation. While Portis had transformed himself into Washington's offensive cornerstone, his body was quietly calculating the cost of each punishing hit. The chronicle of his physical decline began on August 13, 2006, during what should have been a meaningless preseason game. After tackling Cincinnati Bengals cornerback K'Wan Ratliff, Portis partially dislocated his shoulder, an injury that seemed minor at the time but would serve as the first domino in a cascade of physical breakdowns that would ultimately derail his potential Hall of Fame trajectory. The running back position in the NFL is uniquely brutal. Ball carriers absorb impacts equivalent to minor car crashes on nearly every play. For Portis, whose career workload averaged 19.7 carries per game, this physical punishment accumulated like a gathering storm. His 2007 season saw him shoulder a career-high 325 carries while adding 47 receptions, each touch another collision with defenders often outweighing him by 40 to 50 pounds. The cruel irony was unmistakable. The same extraordinary willingness to sacrifice his body that made Portis exceptional became the architect of his downfall. That partially dislocated shoulder in 2006 never fully healed before a broken hand against Philadelphia dealt another blow, landing him on injured reserve. His career became a relentless cycle: injury, rehabilitation, return, breakdown, repeat. Washington's coaching staff, desperate for offensive production, continually leaned on their star runner, even when medical prudence suggested otherwise. By 2008, knee, groin, and abdominal injuries had robbed Portis of the explosive first step that once terrorized defenses. Yet somehow, he managed to summon perhaps his most remarkable season. Playing through pain that would have sidelined most players, Portis earned Pro Bowl honors while accumulating 1,487 rushing yards at 4.3 yards per clip. During a 5-week stretch that season, he racked up nearly 700 yards, proving his heart remained undiminished even as his body betrayed him. Behind Portis's flamboyant persona, the colorful interviews and larger-than-life character, existed a man silently enduring physical suffering few outside the locker room could comprehend. The public saw the production but not the price. Reporters documented touchdowns but rarely captured the struggle to simply suit up. The 2009 season brought Portis's most devastating injury and the beginning of the end for his career. During a game against the Atlanta Falcons, Portis suffered a concussion that left him unconscious on the field. He would miss 4 games before ultimately landing on injured reserve on December 8th. In a candid confession that revealed the true devastation of his career, Portis admitted in a 2013 interview, "The truth is, I had a lot of concussions. It was just the way things were at the time. I'd get hit hard and be woozy. I'd be dizzy. I'd take a play off and then go back in. Sometimes when I went back into the game, I still couldn't see straight. This happened all the time. Sometimes once or twice a game." Portis revealed he had suffered more than 10 concussions during his career, a staggering number that underscores the invisible damage accumulated alongside the visible injuries. By the time Washington released him on February 28, 2011, Portis's body had absorbed more punishment than most running backs experience in much longer careers. His departure from Washington arrived without fanfare, a quiet, almost somber end to a career worthy of celebration. The injuries that plagued Portis robbed him of history itself. Had he maintained his early career trajectory, he might have finished among the top 10 rushers of all time. Instead, he stands as a testament to both the brilliance and brutality of football, a case study in what might have been. Behind the jersey numbers and highlight reels lies the full story of Clinton Portis, a cautionary tale as much as a celebration. Beyond the cheers and records, his post-retirement years reveal the complicated reality many NFL stars face after the spotlight dims. A 2015 bankruptcy filing and guilty plea in a healthcare fraud scheme in 2021 marked his difficult transition to civilian life. "I'm scared. I'm really scared of the results," Portis has admitted about his numerous concussions, showing vulnerability rarely seen during his playing days. Portis's story teaches us that even heroes are human, and sometimes the greatest battles are fought long after the stadium falls silent. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out more of our content right here.